Rage, you nerds! I'm Cac, that's Al. We're about to give a 5 minutes or less review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Al, what are your thoughts on the movie?
Ant-Man, it felt great to me. You know, it was a great start to Phase 5. Story was kind of slow, but it gets to the point where it needs to. Jonathan Major as Kang was phenomenal. That dude can act. For me, Phase 5, first movie, great movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think the bar being set incredibly low thanks to Phase 4 is very helpful, because this, felt better than most of the last things that I watched. But there are things that I think we could probably question, maybe just a smidge. So, Al, what I'm gonna question to you is this. Kang was awesome. What did you think of the rest of cast of characters? Who was the weakest?
The weakest kind of felt like Cassie.
Yeah.
She was just there for me, and I understand they're trying to build up to Young Avengers, but some of the people they've chosen right now are just meh.
Yeah, I would agree. From the big cast, it felt like even Hank Pym kind of had some better moments than maybe Cassie got. So I think the biggest screw job is, why even have Bill Murray in this if he's just going to get 2 minutes? I get he's coming off of a situation in that Aziz Ansari film. Man, I don't know. Dang it, I wanted more from Bill in his MCU role. Instead, he got after being kind of weird, after being a little bit creepy. So we had Kang as our villain, but our secondary antagonist was MODOK. Al, there has been so much said, memed, and discussed about MODOK. How did you feel about this movie's interpretation of that weaponized body head thing?
For me, this was not what it should have been. This should not have been how MODOK came into the universe. It just looked awful. The CGI didn't really do it for me. Like I know they can do. It could have been so much better, and I think it was just thrown together. Kind of felt like at the last minute.
So this film, as the previous two Ant-Man and a lot of MCU recently, had humor injected into it. It felt like it was much more toned down than the try to force you laugh every 5 seconds of Thor: Love and Thunder. But what did you think of the humor elements of this story, which is kind of a staple piece of Paul Rudd and the first two Ant-Man?
For me, I think it was fine at how much there was in it. It wasn't as bad as Thor: Love and Thunder, which is thankfully a good thing. But we have the comedic type character or actors in this movie, and they just need that kind of stuff because that's what they're known for.
I thought so too. I think honestly, the pacing was a little bit better with the humor. I saw some criticism that this wasn't as funny as some of the previous one, where they stuck with a little bit more of the action sci-fi side, which I don't think's bad. I think they did justice to allow us to kind of see the quantum realm. They didn't really flesh it out, which means that there could always be more to that. But yeah, it was interesting. Ultimately, we had our finale, and we see a whole gathering of Kangs. How do you feel about the cliffhanger that was left at the end of this film?
For me, that is one of the most exciting things to see on a big screen. The Egyptian Kang we saw, that is I feel like gonna be a big part of Moon Knight season 2. Give me more of that. I'm ready to see the other Kangs come in and see Reed Richards hit that. I mean, he's essentially the son of Reed Richards, so we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna put all this together.
As people do when they review stuff, we have to give an arbitrary ranking. What do you give this?
For me, I'll give it a 6.6.
I feel like you're not far off where I was thinking. I was kind of thinking a 6.5, maybe a 7 if I'm feeling generous. I'll give it a 7 because the Bill Murray effect in my heart. After a phase of just not good Marvel, this was at least a nice turn of the page and let's do something new. Are you looking forward to Loki any more now than you were before you watched Ant-Man?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the second end credit scene with them flashing back. It's going to be phenomenal. Season 2, I'm sure, just like season 1 was, and I'm ready for it.
All right, this has been Cac and Al. This has been Rage, you nerds. We will see you next time. Goodbye!